You're not gonna tempt me. You'll never forget me.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest, our new friend and a cast member of this season of Temptation Island. We've talked about him a lot. Our boy, Rayrock. Rayrock, how are you? Introduce yourself in real life. And happy to have you, my man.
Thank you. I hope everyone's ready to get hyped up because I'm ready to hype this podcast up and I'm ready to talk, man. Thank you for you guys for having me already.
Hell
I'm ready
yeah.
to have fun. Yeah.
You were definitely, like you said, you could see our videos and stuff. You obviously did see them on YouTube, and like you are a favorite. We felt like they portrayed you well, and just from our pre-conversation, they portrayed you accurately, which, like we kind of said, sometimes everyone doesn't get on reality TV. So just off the top there, really quick, how was your like reality TV experience, even now post the show airing and about to conclude next week?
So as of right now, it's been a crazy ride. I mean, everyone saw at this point, I did not find love. If anything, the experiment, it is an experiment, did the complete opposite for me. I came in there being open-minded and hoping for the best, and crazy that I to this day, I don't know how I got a lot of airtime. I was just myself. I was funny. I said some classic lines with a little airtime I had, and people just liked me for me, and I was just really happy. And I have been getting recognized, especially in New York, especially in the Bronx, where I'm from, and it's been crazy in terms of just the amount of support I'm getting. The Rayrockers, you know what I'm saying? So
I like that.
Like to rock on. Yeah.
I mean, you're having a pretty good summer then from the Bronx. The Yankees are playing great. You're on Temptation Island. Like things are going pretty up on Rayrock right now.
I'm actually a Mets fan. So
that's good too, though. That's good too. Yeah. So either way, New York baseball is good right now.
New York baseball is fantastic, especially the Rangers now in New York. I mean, come on, they're in the playoffs still, second round. I mean, come on. It's a great day to be a New Yorker in sports.
Cool. So obviously we asked pre-show, you are caught up. So really quickly, obviously people tune in for our reactions to the episode. Then we want to dive into more with yourself. Last night, it was again, Brian, I have a thing going here now where I jinx myself into things with all these shows. I say this isn't going to happen and then it happens. We got the Bonfire part 1 tonight. That's right, people. Part 1, not all just at once. They really needed that first 40 minutes to just already tell us what we already knew. But before we get to the Edgar and Jillian Bonfire, and then the first half of Lascelles and Ashley, I got to ask the reaction of the room again. This dude, Anya, man, he bought a ring. Like this dude's nuts, like Rayrock. Like, come on now. Like, I know you're talking about edits and stuff, but like that dude's a little goofy, man.
Hey, listen, I mean, I was able to meet some of the more of the cast after the show and, hung out a couple of times. I unfortunately have not met Hanya. Oh, and I met a couple of the other castmates, but with Hanya, I've not met, and just watching on TV with the rings. I mean, look, he's doing what he wants to do. I mean, Karina's working overtime as a therapist. So she's really, helping this man out. But man, who would have thought he would buy a ring?
Karina seems like a sweetheart. She's very invested in him too. And I'm just like, good for you, man. Like you're being a good friend. Like he hasn't like really, it's just crazy. And I think that's like cool part. Like, even like you said, you didn't find love, but it is cool. Some of these people that are on there maybe can make a little bit of an impact on people, even if they don't per se find love.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. I would say, like, if anything, like I said before, this is an experiment type of show where it's unique to where, I mean, in my opinion, it's toxic as hell. If I had a girlfriend and I tell her, come, let's go to Temptation Island, I don't know how that would even go because you're even taking a chance. So I'm going to say kudos to the couples for even doing this because this is extremely difficult, extremely emotional. But for me as a single, shit, all right, game on. Like, all right, cool. Like, no loss in my book.
Definitely pro single. We always say this every time we cover the show. Why would you come on the show? Like, as a couple, like, why? Like, it's destined to fail.
It's just not a great love story to tell your kids.
No, I mean, look, I'll tell my kids, like, I was on the TV show. That's cool, but
yeah, definitely.
But if I had my girlfriend there, if I did have one, oh my God, no. And if we didn't work out, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, dirty laundry all over the place.
Oh my God, and it's there forever. Yeah. Like there's no spinning it. Like it's there forever. Whatever you do on TV, it's there.
Mm-hmm. So I know I said I was going to do just the recap first, but you said a buzzword that's got me. I have to ask, and everyone knows. So you said therapist. Talk about therapist. Yeah. How awesome is Mark Wahlberg?
Oh my God. So Mark is the GOAT. Mark is
he's
the OG. Like, just meeting Mark, I'll tell you real quick. So we met Mark right before we did the one-liners, and nicest guy in the world. And when we're not really interacting with Mark that much because we're singles, as the guys and the girls. But Mark, literally, the best advice he gave us is be yourself and experience the process. That's it. But man, even today, like me and Mark still talk here and there, and he still keeps in touch with all the singles, the couples, and he even does that with all the other castmates from different seasons. Yeah. So he's a great guy, amazing man. Love Mark.
Just grinning.
That is our dream. When we first started this show and Bill finally watched Temptation on, that's our number one get. Is like, we need to get Mark on the show. Like, everything you're saying, look at Bill's face. Look at
I'm just so validated. I'm so, people make fun of me, but I'm so validated. I'm not hating on. We watch a lot of hosts on a lot of shows, but Mark Wahlberg is the best, like by and far, because if you actually listen to what he says, he actually cares about the people. He actually gives good advice. Like, I'm like, this guy's paying attention. He's not telling them what the damn challenge is and what the reward is. I'm not even hating on a Probst or like a TJ Lab and like any of that. But like, this dude is actually, especially you said with the couples, like he actually connects with the people.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Most definitely. Yeah, like Mark, and the coolest thing about Mark is like him and his wife is always there on him on set. He's got the best sneaker game, like low key.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like low key, like you can catch him in some scenes with some nice fresh Jordans, and like he is the ideal man I think we all strive to be when we're older. And now I'll say about Mark.
And he's got that wonderful tan. He's killing it. So
and he's got wonderful teeth too.
Oh yeah, big pro Mark Wahlberg show here.
Wonderful about Mark.
Right. Nothing.
Nothing.
So we'll get to the final bonfires here. So the only one we saw the full reaction was the one that they've probably one of the two most obvious ones, that being Edgar and Jillian. They already had professed, or at least Edgar had said that he was done. Jillian basically understood seeing the footage. Jillian got to speak first. She was very upset, felt betrayed. She spoke about him sleeping with Marissa and all like that. However, and I'd like to get your reaction to Rayrock as another guy. Like I said last week, like, is there really a difference between like the shower hooking up and the sleeping in bed together and hooking up and the actual sex? Like at that point, I mean, the cheating is the cheating, right?
Yeah. I mean, like every couple comes to the island with different season, with different rules. I mean, look, like, everyone saw I got eliminated right before the final, final dates. And now watching it, I'm now a viewer. So up until then, like I knew what was going to happen. Yeah. Now it's just like, I'm watching it with my family and friends and I don't know what's going to happen. And just seeing how that went down, even at the first final bonfire with Jillian Edgar, like it's just, you could just tell from this season and me seeing Jillian talk about Edgar, like, it was downhill, and I had the feeling they weren't going to last. And I was just shocked how, my God, Edgar told Jillian, yo, I'm going to leave alone. And then, hold up, Mark. I want Marissa to come out. So she was like waiting in the bushes. I was like, what?
I thought for a second he was not going to go with anybody.
That's what I thought he was saying.
Which was bold, I think, for him. But
at the same time, like, Edgar, as a man, like, you gotta just tell Jillian, like, I'm leaving with Marissa. Like,
right.
Yep. Yeah. He's got a man up. Like,
he's soft. He's soft. Also, he's soft.
Also, he asked to kiss her forehead on the way out. You just dumped her, bro. Like, why should she want to let you kiss her forehead?
Come on, man. No more promise rings. No more kisses on foreheads. No more hugs. You're done. You just fucked somebody else.
I don't know what it. Oh my God. I don't know what it is. Like, this season's been all about rings. First, we talked about the promise ring at the beginning, and then the golden rings with the eliminations. This, and then the rings with Luke and Hanya. Bro, this is a season full of rings. A lot of rings this season. That's the theme. Rings.
Life is a circle.
And it's coming to a close very soon.
Again, with the end of a 2-part finale.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm just so bitter. I've had this thing going, Rayrock, with all of our shows where they do 3-part, 2-part finales, 2-part episodes that could be one. And I'm not trying to rush a show off, but like you said, we're at episode 10 now. So it's like, come on now, let's land the ship, or we should have cut some stuff like earlier outside of Rayrock content. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff we didn't need to see. So all I'm saying, Brian, do you want to kind of tease up what we saw the second bonfire?
It's just a shit show. I'd love to hear from you in a second about what you think of LaSalle's, but as a viewer, because I've watched all the seasons. Have you seen them all, by the way, Rayrock? Have you watched
So on a side note, before I went to Temptation Island, I got on the show. I didn't even know what the show was about.
Yeah.
So me and my buddy watched all 3 seasons before I left, so I get an idea and have like a game plan how I want to go to the island. So,
Right.
That makes sense.
yes, I've seen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like if you watch all the old seasons and then you see what Lascelles is doing, where like one day he loves somebody, one day he doesn't love her, and it's just like, how do you come out looking even somewhat decent? And I don't know how she's gotta like hope. I hope she just stands her ground when we get to the next part. Bill, what do you think?
I see like this, like I told you guys, like I know these people not only, I know Lascelles very well. He's from New York. I'll say this: when you're in that house, and you guys probably talked about this, other podcast people probably talked about this too, where you're in that house, it literally feels like weeks. So people need to understand, like you could build a strong, very strong connection within a short amount of time in that type of atmosphere. Now, is it going to translate well to the real world? 50-50 in my honest opinion. But going back to the Lascelles and Ashley thing, when they only show half of that final bonfire, I just felt it was very emotional in terms of, and I felt like Lascelles didn't know where to go from here, guys, because he just probably was just so internally so confused that, he has feelings for a girl that 7 years. Of course he's going to have that. But then I don't blame him for having feelings for Trace in the house where all we literally did was talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate,
No.
you know what I mean?
We literally appreciate that. But I think his mistake is, and we've seen this also this exact same year with The Bachelor, you got to be careful, like saying you love multiple people.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you get in real life and in reality TV, especially in Temptation Island, where they get to see what the worst thing you say, they're going to see. And I think sometimes it's crazy that I feel like people forget that in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, definitely. I agree. Yeah, it's the love thing. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, tell him.
And that's kind of why I asked you, did you watch old seasons? Because like, if they're the main people on the show, they should have watched the old seasons to kind of get a gauge of like, if you say something or have sex with someone the first day, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught no matter what you do, what you say. They're gonna see it. So I just don't really feel bad for this guy.
I gotcha. It's just one of those things that unfortunate things occur and happen, and we're all human and we all make mistakes. But
definitely.
At the end of the day, Mark, I think said it a long time ago in the previous episodes, where once the couple split, you're on your own individual journey in terms of if you find a connection with somebody, or you grow from it, or you just honestly just do you and be independent and then come back together and figure things out, I'm
dying for the reunion and dying. There's a couple other things I'm dying to ask, like post the season can be incomplete just in general, but so we'll see where we go. Obviously we have the reunion and part 2 next week. So we obviously want to dive in with you, Rayrock. How about just like right now, just kind of give everyone an idea, like who you are. You kind of gave a little bit off the top, but just like what you got going on. And then we dive into your, like how you got involved. Actually, who you are. And then how did you get involved in getting cast for a reality TV show?
Oh my God. So for me, who I am, my full name is Orazio Rayanico, and I'm the third in my family. From the Bronx, New York. I work a 9-to-5 job, and I would say in terms of me, I'm very outgoing, very loud, and a party type of guy, which I am happy
they did
show that. Yeah, that they did show, but unfortunately, I'll say what the show really didn't show. The other side of me was how vulnerable I could be and how open I am and a good listener I am. And, I had to work on some things too post TI that I discovered on the island, because I'm on a journey too. And they didn't show it, but there were so many conversations I had with the women and even the single guys. Love them all. I just wish they would have shown more of that side of me, I would say. Now, in terms of how I got on the show, it's crazy. So my family's probably not gonna like this one I'm about to say, because they're gonna watch it regardless. So last year I dealt with an ex of mine, and it was a bad situation. And at the time, it was a very low point of my life. And my buddy, 2 days after the incident, hits me up about, applying for TI. It was just a simple application. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think I would ever do something like that. I used to make fun of those people on TV, So I just said, screw it. Why not? Right. I need to get my mind off things, and let me just do it. I literally got a call 2-3 days later after I applied and went through the process, and they just, I was just myself. I was just funny. I was outgoing. And I remember getting the call that I was going to be on TI. I literally was in my living room with my family. I do my phone up in the air. I broke my phone while I was going up hard as I can. And it changed my life in terms of, I never been on a plane. I never really traveled before. It was the first time me leaving the nest in a sense, and I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. I met amazing people there. I had an amazing experience, and I'm just enjoying the ride now. And it's fortunate it's coming to an end. But one thing I want people to know is that for me, I definitely have a story where don't give up in life because you never know what could happen. So
I love that.
Love it. It's
Brian,
awesome.
What do you got, Bri?
I just have a question too about like kind of how you got on the show. So like, did you have to put a video, or was it just like an application and then it was a video? And did Mark call you, or like
Did he come and visit your house like a recruiting trip?
he was knocking on the door like, yo, Rayrock, is that you? Hey, I'm Mark. This nice neighborhood you got here. Why don't you come down? Meet my wife. Let's talk about TI. No, I can't get too much in detail about the process, but what I can tell you is that they did call me, and I went through a variety of steps. So, like for example, I had to, do a psych test. I had to get medically cleared. The shebang, and did a final interview, which I remember playing Eminem's song. I forgot the name of the song, but it was "You Get One Shot, One Opportunity to Seize Everything." Yourself. Yes, I played that song because I just had to get in the headspace of, all right, if I only got my 5 minutes,
game time.
This is my game time.
Nice.
Did my 5 minutes, and a week later, I got the call that, hey, you're going to TI.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. How dope is the house? Is it
Yeah.
smaller than it looks? Is it big? Like, how much space do you really have?
So I would say the backyard is huge, tremendous. The pool was sick. The house itself was small. Yeah, like they made it seem like it was miraculous and it was huge. And I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, it was a nice house and it was cool to like hang out in because you get the Hawaii vibe and you're in Hawaii, so it definitely fit the vibe. But what I hated about the house was, so all of us guys, the 12 single men, we're from 5'10" to who's the tallest? I would say Tommy or George is one of the tallest guys, which they're about 6'2", 6'3". So we're all from 5'10" to 6'3". Grown ass men in 12 fucking bunk beds. One room with one shower, 3 sinks, and 1 toilet.
One toilet?
One toilet?
One toilet.
Whoa.
Whoa.
One toilet.
I feel like if you had called Mark, he would have done something about this.
Yeah.
I mean, look, like, I see it like this, like, the couples are the main people and then the singles are here. And then, if connections are forming, then some of the singles become main people. So that's how I kind of took it once the season progressed, and watching it now as a viewer, that's how it kind of is, not just with TI, but I feel like with any show. Thus, going back to what I said originally, how when I came home, I was like, bro, I'm not going to get no airtime, bro. I didn't get no connections.
Yep.
I never got a date. I was just funny and party, and I tried to open up and I tried to make connections, and unfortunately it didn't work. But yet watching back, I'm just amazed. Like, people are like, yeah, you got a little airtime. Yeah, but I didn't get no connection. I was just funny. Like, come on, like, you gotta give me some credit, bro. Like, I wasn't just out there faking it. No, like, I was being myself, which is great. And people say like, oh, on TL you have to build a connection. Yeah, but if you're just yourself, honestly, and the production people like you, and you bring something different to the table, I feel like for me, my character was definitely a side character.
Yeah,
I would say I brought the party atmosphere, the comic relief, because you got all this stressful shit going on, then you got my confessionals just saying some funny shit.
So I have another question. So is there like a Temptation Island community? Like, have you talked to older cast members of like a previous season, or is it not like that yet?
See, that's the thing, because I mean, I'll say it, like, yeah, I've definitely spoke to other previous cast members from different seasons. I'm not gonna say who, but definitely from previous seasons, from season 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, that's fine.
I see it like this. Like, I don't know how my cast feels, but I feel this is like a community, like you said, like a family. A messed up family, but I do feel like, me personally, I feel like I entered now a TI family from all 4 seasons into one, because we done something that, there's a lot of reality TV going on even today. It's very popular, but I would say 1 or 2% of the people experience that.
Mhm.
you know, and
Yeah, very
once
few
you
people ever.
very few. And once you do it, it does change your life in a sense, because there's some things off camera they didn't show that I'm just laughing about. Like, I can't believe this happened and they didn't show it. You
Right.
know, or how one scene they did this and they edited it a completely different way.
Yeah.
So it's definitely humbling in terms of that. I didn't think again that this would ever happen to me. You know, like I told you guys, I went through something in my life, and I really do feel God was like, you know what, Ray, you've been through this bullshit. We're gonna give you something super amazing at the time. That here you go. Here's the door. Walk through that door, and it's gonna change your life forever. And it has in ways.
No, it's really cool. I mean, I've said this on other shows. I've said this even when we've had other guests on, even like Jamie and stuff, and we had on that interview. It's like people ask us why we're into reality TV. There's a million things you could cover, Marvel, TV, movies, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, this is the only, yeah, there is, of course, there's scripted portions to it, but it is the only place where you get real reactions. Like, that's why we connect with people like yourself. Like, you were giving a lot of the reactions that like we would be giving if we were
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, come on,
Yeah.
man, or this is good, or this or that. You know, we're joking about the different themed parties from 2011.
That's the
Like,
question I wanted to ask next.
Oh,
about
okay.
theme parties.
Yep, go ahead. Let's
Go
just
ahead.
dig right into
All
it.
right. So, because I've been watching the show a lot in my life, do you have like a voting scale, like, or do they just like drop off a box and they're like, hey, here's Toga's the night, next week
So-
is 80s, and like, how do they determine that?
I love that you answer that, because that's one of the top questions I ask people on my IG live, or questions like, what question you want to, and one of the ones was, first, how come you never got a date? And the other one was how the party system worked out. So how that worked out was pretty much one person gives an idea, and if it got a lot of votes, we'll run with it.
Okay.
So they didn't show it, but we actually do like in terms of like they'll have a camera on us and like we'll talk about the parties. They never show that at all. Like the Bubbles and Bowtie party, when D came in, that was my party I suggested.
Okay.
I mean, I just, you know, it's not a fan favorite. It's not, people really don't like it because people are like, what the fuck is that? But I thought it'd be a cool idea. It's something unique and different. So I don't know about the other villa, but I know in my villa we had votes and like suggestions, and whoever an idea came about and was like, you know, let's run with this party. Production gave the okay to like, okay, let's do it. And then the props came, and then we set up and we're in costumes. So that's how it worked out.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you just have an idea. They're like, okay, and then they provide things.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
yeah. Production team does.
There's not like
provide
a
it.
closet, and you're like, oh, let's do this tonight, and you just pull it
No,
out.
it's not. No,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
just literally just ideas brainstorming before
Gotcha.
the night of, which we partied a lot, man. Like,
Yeah,
oh my god,
as you should.
yeah. Like it was like every day there was a party. Like it got to the point where I was so exhausted. I lost tremendous amount of weight there, so much.
Liquid
Oh my
diet,
God.
right?
Yeah, basically, it felt like.
Was there any good food or?
So how the food was served was there. So at the beginning of the show, there were 16 of us, right? There's 12 single men and 4 girls. And literally they gave us the supplies and was basically, all right, guys, cook. We were
No
just
way.
like, yeah. So George, luckily enough, he's great at cooking. So George would cook up the food and we all just chip in. And some of the guys, I actually suck at cooking. So my job was basically just to set up the table, do the dishes. You know, everyone had
Yeah,
a role, basically,
That's cool.
a job
Okay.
in the house. You know, it wasn't just like one person was lazy and didn't do anything. No, we all chipped in and did our roles and jobs in the house. And then when Deke came, Deke was the breakfast guy, and then George became the dinner guy, you know, in terms of cooking.
Gotcha.
So,
Was there genuine beef with Deke coming in the house, or you think that was a little built up?
so what's funny about that part of that scene was, you know, again, we just went through eliminations. That was the day before the Bubbles and Bowtie party, my party. Emotions are all high. We all had to vote each other out. You know, my emotions were high because I had to vote first, and like it was just a lot going on, right? And then they threw another plot twist, which, by the way, we did not know any of these plot twists. We were just,
Okay, that's cool. That's good to know.
you know, so the production was like, yo, here's the plot twist. And we all just had to react to like my reaction was priceless. Like, as soon as Deke walked out, I knew exactly who he was because I just watched the
the
season.
show.
Literally
Yeah,
just
you did
watched
your
it.
homework.
Yeah, so I said, oh, that's why that was my voice. Oh, that's Deke from season 2. And I'm fucking fuming because I didn't get a fucking date yet. I'm still trying to get a date with one of these females. And then Deke comes in, and we already know Daddy Deke is coming in there hot. And I'll say this, that night was actually really bad than what they show. Like what they show compared to what I saw.
Ooh,
Yeah, like it was worse. Like
Mr. Steal Your Girl, man. Just rolling
like
in.
it was bad. Like that night, yeah, production, like you saw producers came out, production came out, like it was bad. Like
I love that.
That was
I love
Taylor,
that
right?
too.
Was that Taylor doing that?
it was Taylor, and then Deke said something like,
Yeah.
I'm not coming in with a little dick energy. And then Big
Yeah.
James, one of the nicest guys in the house. Everyone's pretty nice, but Big James, one of the nicest guys in the house. The fact that he came up, he's the biggest guy too. He just coming at Deke, and then production just came in and just swarmed in. It was crazy. Madness.
Awesome.
I think I was by the refrigerator just grabbing food in, and I looked over and I was just like, oh shit.
What's happening here?
Yeah, it was
not a huge fan of Deke, to be honest with you, from my viewing, but
no, totally. And you know what it is? Like you said, you're a viewer, but once you get to know Deke and everybody,
I'm sure he's
show,
fine.
like,
I'm sure
Yeah,
all those guys
like-
are fine, but
yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
you're taking time away from our guy.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
I mean, look, like they do the plot twist, you know, with Deke, and they did that with Samantha from season 2 at the other villa. You know, they had the.
I remember her.
You know, but like how we're talking about it, people don't like me. Like I know from the West Coast at the beginning of TI, I was getting hate. Get this guy out of here. He's too much. He's too loud. This and that. I'm like, bro, I'm from New York. Like I knew the West Coast was gonna hate me. I knew that for a fact.
I get you,
Yeah.
bro. I'm from Philly.
Yes, you already know.
They just hate me from
I-
where
I
because of where
even-
I'm from.
I think we even were like, we like him, but we're worried that he could go. Like, I think that's what we said.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
Yeah, if we went back.
the show, like people, like the voting, like you don't know. I don't. Not stress. The voting changes every season, so we don't know how it's
Well,
going to be. But
So I'll say this. So yeah, so going because once I said my one-liner, which my honest opinion, I think that's a classic Rayrock. Like that's probably the classic me. Just getting up there, hype the crowd, and the whole Winky thing got Edgar popped off. Then I'm not backing down. I popped off like him, and then you know, so that was funny.
yeah.
I remember the next day was the mixer, and I felt me personally, I left a bad first impression because I don't know what these girls and where they're from. Like we don't know anything about them. Once you open up the curtains, that's the first time we see them. You know,
That's
so we
crazy.
don't. I don't know anything. So I went up to each girl and each mixer, apologized for me being. You know, they probably think, look at this crazy guy,
Yeah.
this guy. But I'm just really being myself and just being my New Yorker self. You know.
So just a kind of two-part. I'm kind of winding down here, Brian. You have some stuff too. One, were you a fan of reality TV before? And yes or no, but would you do it again? Would you
So
do
am I a
another
fan-
show?
So I'm a fan in terms of like I like watching it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It definitely kills time, especially when my 9 to 5. But in terms of me being on it, I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I have the personality to do it. You know what I mean? But just to talk to the people in the industry and being myself, I definitely feel that I belong there. You know?
Yeah.
And reality TV again. I'll say this: if it's the right situation for me. I think at this time, you know, I did the first round of TI, like, all right, let me just do it. Like, let me see if I could really find love because I'm a single man who struggles with it. That's why I did it, you know? So in terms of do it again, I would do it again, but with the right situation.
They're redoing Jersey Shore. They announced that yesterday. Jersey
No,
Shore
are they
2.0
really?
with a new cast. So you should call your casting guy, whoever you know, because you would be
Oh,
perfect.
my God. Oh,
Rayrock would
hey,
be perfect.
Yeah, because you got a
God.
name. You have a name.
You already have a
that would be
nickname.
like-
Exactly. You're
yeah.
not even making that up. I'm telling you, I'm putting it out there. I'm speaking it into existence for you. Look it up. They're calling it like Jersey Shore 2.0. They literally-
Really?
They announced it yesterday at the upfronts. They're doing upfronts this week. Like Paramount announced it. Yeah. So
Wow. So they're
Yeah,
doing the
look, right
seaside
there.
all over again? Like
they're
probably
yeah,
the
they're well,
same-
they're still gonna
whatever
do
it's
the
the
old
same
guys
house.
for like family vacation, but they're doing like new people in a new house, like restarting it. Yeah.
It's about time, man. I mean, I love Jersey Shore. We
So
all
do we.
grew up watching
We
it.
do,
but,
we
like,
love it.
I can't keep watching them with kids and
Yeah,
family.
it's not
Like
the same.
Yeah,
It's not
we
the same.
just
not
had
the
this
same
conversation
anymore.
yesterday.
it's not the same anymore. Like this is like our next generation, like my next generation, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I'm 20, I'm 28 now. Like that's the same age when Paul D and Mike when they went into Jersey Shore 10
Right.
years ago.
And you already
But,
have a
like-
warm up thing. You already went. You're already used to the cameras. I'm just saying, man.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
Speak this into existence. Call Mark. Tell him we can call for you, and then tell him to call us.
See,
Yeah,
look,
definitely tell Mark to call us.
hey man, if the stars are like I said, I'm only gonna do
Uh.
it right situation, right circumstances. You know what I mean? So I'm not opposed, but we'll
You
see.
might get away from like the dating shows in certain ways, in a lot of the ways. Like Jersey Shore is a good medium because that's just going and living. You can meet people outside the cast and things like that
Just party,
too. And
yeah.
there you go. I'm just saying. Brian, do you have anything else? And then obviously we're going to turn to Rayrock, let people know like where they can find you and all like that. But Brian, do you have anything else?
I don't know. I feel like I asked you a ton of questions already.
That was great.
No, it's
I was
cool.
like interrupting everyone, like, oh, let me know
No, it
about
was
the
great.
costumes.
So yeah, so Rayrock,
yeah,
what do you got going on? You talked about your Instagram live, it seemed like the fitness stuff, all of that. So like what's your right now besides your your normal 9 to 5? What do you have going on online and where can people find you and interact with you?
Yeah, so real quick, I also do modeling too. I got
dope.
some gigs coming up in the summer. You know, right now it's a side thing, but I'm hopefully one day the goal is to make it full time and then
Oh, that'd be sick,
and then leave the 9 to 5. That's honestly my goal. And you know, whatever TV opportunities happen, hopefully it'll happen again. But people can find me at Instagram at Rayrock223 _ and then yeah, that's really it. I mean, just follow the Instagram, and then you'll find the other stuff there. Yeah.
And we'll have that obviously linked in the video description here at the top. And then we'll have that in the social posts and stuff like that. Facebook, Instagram, we'll tweet it all out. So we'll definitely tag you and everything. We'd love to have you back, bro. Definitely. Maybe even like after the finale / even later on, just to kind of catch up with you and maybe find something that you're watching and we'll react together. It'd be fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, you know, I'll tell you guys, like I tell the other podcasts, people I've been speaking to, that more than happy to talk. I'm sad that the season's coming to an end because it has been a very long journey, almost a year, but you know, it's time to close the chapter on this for me personally and see what other opportunities are out there. So, but this ain't the end for me. It's only the beginning, I'll say.
100%, brother. So like, again, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you check out Everything Rayrock, subscribe here to the channel. We'll hopefully get a lot more people from Temptation Island. We have some people lined up for Amazing Race when we finish that retro review. So a lot of good stuff coming to the channel, but for myself, Brian, Rayrock, thank you. Peace.
Rock on, everybody.
Rock on, guys.